Previously on Asagao Academy. It's PBG. He and John founded the Normal Boots Club together. PBG is one of the best soccer players on the team. Those guys over there are Paul, Nick, and Josh. They write a column in the school newspaper called Continue. Paul, the one standing up, is the student council president. We should get some ice cream. Paul kneeled low to the ground and took off at a sprint, heading straight for us. Check this out. He sprang into the air in a graceful ballerina's leap, spinning through the sky, and finally came straight for me? When I opened my eyes, I was sprawled flat on the ground, covered in dirt. Something cold and wet oozed on top of my blouse. Hana, are you okay? I sat up. Chunks of ice cream fell from my blouse to my skirt. What happened? You ran into something, and you ran into someone, you idiot. My uniform. It's ruined. For a few seconds, silence, then snickers rippled around me like the whining of cicadas. My throat closed up, water stinging my eyes. Not this again. Not again. I stood up, prepared to walk away with dignity, when the entirety of the Normal Boots Club suddenly appeared in front of my face.
What's up?
What happened here? Seriously? Tears slid down my face. No, not here. I didn't want to cry in front of them.
Hey.
Hana, are you alright? I'm going home.
Hana.
Wait, Hana. It's fine. I just want to be alone right now. It took all my will not to run back to the dorm. I immediately changed into my pajamas and climbed into bed, reaching for my stuffed rabbit. What am I gonna do if this ends up just like last time? Mr. Bunny stared at me with his big, lifeless eyes. I squished him to my chest, losing myself into soft fur. The door opened with a soft click. Hana, are you okay? I rolled over in bed to face the wall, pretending to be asleep. Mai stood in the center of the room for a while, looking at me. Finally, she sat down at her desk and began to work on something. The sound of her pencil scratching against the paper stilled my mind. I don't know how many hours passed, but eventually I fell asleep. I woke up to my alarm beeping, feeling only dread of the hours to come. After the nightmare that was the ice cream incident yesterday, I never wanted to take another step out of my room. I curled up inside my blanket. As my alarm went off, it was only the second day of school, and I felt the same I did every morning at home. Mai, of course, was already up, and I could hear her hair straightener clap shut every few seconds across the room. I felt bad about letting the alarm go off for so long, so I slid my hand out of the covers to switch it off. Hana, get up, sleepyhead. I know you're awake. I didn't even have the time to poke my head out before Mai's body slammed into the edge of my mattress, bouncing me up. She jumped from almost halfway across the room. You can't hide from Mai. Sorry. I was breathless, and I paused to calm my heart before speaking again. Are you worried about what happened yesterday? No one cares about it, Hana. I almost forgot about it myself. She must have seen my face. She brought an arm around my shoulder and pulled me closer to her. For real though, we're gonna have class and no one's even gonna mention that you made a huge fool of yourself yesterday. You could have put that better. I'm kidding. It might have been a big scene, but it totally wasn't your fault. It was Paul, alright? When you jump, you have to calculate your trajectory, like I just did now. He could learn a lot from a master like me. Get dressed and cheer up. I can bottle your gloom and sell it to a wizard. And what if he used it for evil? You can't let that happen, Hana. Her smile was wide enough to bridge a gap between the continents. The beginnings of tears were pricked the back of my eyes, but this time they were for a different reason. I opened my closet and tried to avoid looking at the sad lump of clothing inside slathered with dried up ice cream. I only had 2 uniforms, which cost my dad an entire month's salary. If I wasn't able to get the stain out of this uniform, what would I do? Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waiting impatiently for me. Sighing, I took my second uniform off its hanger and slipped it on as Mai waiting impatiently for me. No. That's incorrect. Ready to go? I guess so.
Yeah!
Good. Just as Mai said, no one paid any special attention to me. Well, there were a few odd looks here and there, but nothing nearly as bad as what I was expecting. As the lecture went on, my anxiety for the most part faded. I took to staring out the window to avoid eye contact. A few boys were out on the field playing soccer. Wait, was that PBG? I scooted closer, trying to get a better look. Hana? At the sound of my name, I leaped to attention. If there's something more interesting outside than samurai death battles, please feel free to enlighten us. You came here to learn, not to contemplate the scenery. Yes, Miss Shizuka, I'm sorry. She turned back to the chalkboard, continued her lecture as if nothing happened. A few desks in front of me, a guy was sitting next to Brutal Moose, turned around and gave me a flashy thumbs up. I made a face at him, unsure of what exactly he expected me to do. Who's this? I don't recognize people with hats. Then Ian turned around and socked him on the head. The other guy mumbled something to him, probably apologizing. Ian's eyes slid to me for a brief instant, then he looked away. Were they looking at me because of what happened yesterday, or was there some other reason? I shook my head. There wasn't time for this. I had work to do if I wanted to keep my scholarship. After pages and pages of notes on Japanese history, it was nearly time for lunch. Okay, everyone is almost free to go. The work tonight isn't hard, so don't grumble. You should work together to complete it if you have a hard time. Also, as you may be aware, the Flower Festival is coming up in a week and a half. This news was met with a few cheers as everyone started to pack up. Since you have the day of the festival off, our first exam will be the day before. There were no cheers this time. Romance is wonderful, believe me, I know. But let's try not to let the festival distract you, okay? That is all. See you tomorrow. Miss Shizuka flashed a peace sign and winked as she walked out the door. What a weird teacher. Oh, that lecture was so boring. Mai walked beside me, a tray in her hand. We were shuffling through the cafeteria trying to find a seat. Didn't you say that yesterday? Probably, but it's true for today, too. Hana, help me. I'm going to die of boredom. We have an assignment to keep us busy, Mai.
What?
We already have work to do? How did you not hear that? Mai sighed dramatically, then leaned to the side and rested her head in the crook of my neck. I reached up to pat her head a few times, but she straightened before I could do it. Oh god, Hana, Paul's walking over here. He's looking at you. Does he look angry to you? Why is he coming over here? Do you think he's going to kick you again? The same Paul who humiliated me last night strode towards me. I instinctively backed away, but he kept coming closer. Hey. I'm glad I found you. He didn't look angry at me. In fact, he was giving me an odd, lopsided smile. I wanted to make sure you weren't hurt or anything. You ran off before I could properly apologize. I looked down at my feet. It was embarrassing enough that I ran off crying like a little girl, but to know that I made him feel bad was even worse. At the same time, the image of my ruined uniform popped into my mind. I couldn't tell whether I was more angry or embarrassed, or whether I was feeling something else entirely. I got you pretty bad, didn't I? I think I ballerinaed too hard. He tilted his head to the side. It's a shame you're not wearing the uniform from yesterday. I like the pink splotches on you. Matched your hair. A deep, sick feeling crawled up from my stomach to sit in my throat. My dumb, stupid hair. Everywhere I went, people made fun of it. Thought the normal boots guys were different. He was trying to apologize. How could he say something like that to me? Not for the first time. I thought dyeing it a different color. I quickly dismissed it. Paul was waiting for a response, Mike giving me a quick nod as if warning me to not mess this up. I mustered up my best smile, hoping it could at least be somewhat convincing. It's okay. I'm fine. Don't worry about it. Anyway, I'm more than happy to pay for the dry cleaning. Josh and Nick and I really feel bad about everything. We've never made a girl cry before. Well, not by physically injuring her, I guess. Thank you, but I was just gonna scrub it in the sink. Dad and I can never afford things like dry cleaner, so I was surprisingly good at hand washing things. That thing's going to need more than just hot water and soap, trust me. Tell you what, I have a friend who's a natural with that kind of stuff. I'll ask her to get the stain out for you. Just meet me later. Bring your uniform, okay? I'll try not to kick you this time. Without giving me time to say yes or no, or where, he nodded and turned to leave. He spun quickly back around. I flinched. Are you and, Mai, right? Do you guys have a table? The cafeteria is pretty full right now, and you can sit with us if you want, just for today. Yes, we'll go. Right, Hannah? Lunch with the Normal Boots Club? Maybe I really could become friends with them. And then no one would bother me again. Not about my hair or the ice cream incident. Right?
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Alright,
Follow me, ladies. He led us to the middle of the cafeteria where Normal Boots Club sat with a table all to itself. Oh. Hey, you found her. You're Hannah, right? Wait, is that the voice I gave? Yes. Hey, you found her. You're Hannah, right? I nodded, blushing as I took a seat at the edge of the table next to Paul. Mai found herself between Jared and PBG. Her eyes were only a few sparkles away from from forming huge hearts. Real subtle. So, Hana, we saw that you were upset and we were all worried. Are you feeling better? PBG looked at me, clearly concerned. My heart was beating against my chest, but I wasn't sure whether it was because I was nervous or because of the sad look on his face made me want to give him a hug. Or maybe it was because I was about 2 inches away from Paul and only an arm's length away from all the other guys. As I tried to valiantly open my mouth, whispers sped across the lunchroom. Look at those girls over there. Who do they think they are? How come they get to sit there? I wish Senpai would notice me. Oh my god. Main characters get all the luck. Suddenly my thoughts turned dark. Could it be by getting close to these guys I was setting myself up as a target instead of getting protection? My thoughts spun in my head. I was suffocating. PBG was still looking at me, even more worried than before. I'm fine. Thanks for your concern. Please don't feel bad. It was my fault for getting in the way. I'm sorry for causing such a scene. I should have controlled myself before. I hung my head. I wasn't sure how to act around these guys, so I defaulted to extremely polite. My father would have been proud. Hana. Hey, Hana, don't apologize. It was Paul's fault, right? Polly? Nick shoved Paul, who looked exasperated. I apologize as best as I could, Nick. Give me a break. It was a relief that PBG wasn't staring at me anymore. Almost no one else was paying me or Mai any attention. Shane, however, was still shooting me quick, suspicious glances. It was almost like he didn't want me there. I felt uncomfortable.
hey Hana!
How do you like it here so far, Hana? Good, how about you? I mean, I like it here, thank you. Gerard smiled at me, then turned away. I picked up my food. The guys were all wrapped up in their own conversations, and Mai was busy preventing hyperventilation from being so close to Jared. I can feel his body heat. Oh dear.
Hey.
You doing okay, Hana? A smiling Satch turned to me. I know it can be overwhelming. I know it can be overwhelming. You're fine, right? Yeah, I am. Thank you. Thanks for recommending me that book, by the way. It's been really good. Do you like it? Well, that's the wrong voice. Do you like it? That's great. I figured you would. It's really funny, but the narrator's annoying. Yeah, he can be a bit rude. He pushed up his glasses and then grinned at me.
Alright.
You were pretty quiet, but I knew there was more to you. I winced. Sorry, I can be a bit of a wallflower. No need to apologize. I'm sure we've all been wallflowers before. But that reminds me, the flower festival. He turned to the group, addressing them all as if on cue they all suddenly turned to pay him attention. Who are you all taking this year? Right, the flower festival. Miss Shizuka mentioned it before. What is the flower festival? No one explained it to me yet.
Well...
It's basically just a festival. Didn't you have those at your old school? We did have festivals at my old school. They're basically just 40 kids grouped in one room, sharing snacks brought from home. Well, we had something kinda like them, but I stopped going.
Really?
Aw, why not? They're so fun. I stopped going, aw, why not? I didn't really want to answer. There's no way I could say, well, my friends turned on me, so when I went, people pretended I didn't exist. But Mai was waiting for an answer, and everyone was looking at me. I'm just not into that stuff, I guess. Oh, well maybe you like this one more. The flower festival happens all over Japan around this time of year, but it's a big deal in Higanbana. That's the town right next to Asagao. There's apparently some kind of myth about flowers that's something somewhat important. Supposedly, the founder of Higanbana was an old man who got lost in the mountains and almost died of thirst. This flower spirit came to him and offered him help in return for his vow to protect her home. He agreed, and she drained herself of all her water so he could drink. The man founded Higanbana to watch over the meadow in which he met the flower. In some versions of the myth, the man and the flower spirit fell in love. It's a truly romantic festival. One may hope to find someone with which to make a vow of eternal love, just as the man and the spirit did, and to live on to protect the one they love. Jared winked and I swooned. So, during the day of the flower festival, there's a lot of stalls set up, and you can go and play games and eat food or go flower viewing. Then at night, there's a special meadow over by the temple where you can watch the flowers. There's a bonfire and dancing. It's a lot of fun. We look forward to it every year. Asagao sells paper flowers in this little booth to raise money for the school, too, so there's usually a big volunteer drive beforehand for people who are good at origami. Origami? I'm good at origami. Really? Shane is too. Maybe you should work together. Shane gave me a tight-lipped smile. Somehow I didn't think that would be happening. Hey, speaking of, I swear you rejected 10 girls at last... I swear you rejected 10 girls last festival season. I mean, that's nothing compared to me, naturally, but there are so many girls with broken hearts, I couldn't even mend them all. Still hung up on your English girlfriend?
What?
Shane flinched, visibly taken aback. Then he shrugged. I don't talk to her anymore. Oh, Shane, I just want you to be happy, that's all. He wiped a fake tear. Shane grimaced. How great would it be if someone just asked me? Maybe even if one of the normal Boots guys did. No, I doubt that would ever happen. They were only letting me sit there because they physically assaulted me. I sighed and cut my beefcake with a plastic knife. So, any girls in mind, fellas? Beside me, Mai shifted nervously. Her eyes kept flicking from Jared to her french fries. She looked like a child who stole several cookies. Jared spread out his arms and raised an eyebrow, a god waiting for names to fall into his lap. I'm thinking of going solo this year, to be honest. Yeah. Same. Man, you guys are boring. You are much better, man. I on another level compared to you guys, I've already got my choice picked out. There was a quiet clattering next to me. Mai had dropped her fork. Yeah, I'm sure you have, and it'll probably be a new choice tomorrow. Jared flipped his hair with his hand. You know me so well. There's only so much time to make so many different girls' dreams come true. I must find the one who is most in need. So it's not even about the one you like, huh? Nope. And you make fun of me. Just then, the warning bell rang. It was time to head back to class. As everyone got up to toss their trays, I stood up and, overwhelmed by a sudden burst of feeling, shouted, Thank you for letting me and Mai eat lunch with you today. I really appreciate it. Yeah, thanks. Hannah was having a terrible day, and you guys cheered her right up. So, see you guys again tomorrow? Same time? Mai tilted her head, eyes twinkling. Mai, Paul said we could only sit with them today. That's cool. Paul waved a hand in dismissal, almost dropping his tray with the other. The cafeteria is really crowded, and we have extra room at our table. People are too afraid to sit with us or something. Well, we did kick a girl yesterday. All three of them shrugged at the same time, then left the room, moving in unison like a team of synchronized swimmers. Jared dumped his tray and jogged to catch up with them. As soon as they were out of earshot, Mai took my hands in hers and jumped up and down. You did it, Hannah! We got to sit at this popular table! I've been trying to do this for 2 years, and you did it in 2 days! She dropped her hands and made a, jokingly, I think, angry face. Main characters have all the fun. You'll be in pairs, painting a diorama or a papier-mâché lamp, anything postmodern. Then write a paper on design. Or don't. That works too. But remember, this project will count for 10% of your final grade, so work hard. Sound good? The only response was bitter murmuring. Miss Shizuka often ended with "sound good," but she never cared about the answer. Alright, in the last few minutes of class, pick your partners and discuss your project plan. We'll continue next time. In a matter of seconds, almost all of the desks in the classroom connected. I looked at a girl, but Mimi Santos, already claimed her. Mai frowned at me as if to apologize. I scanned the classroom for a few other people I met, finding them already paired. I was going to be the only one without a partner. Suddenly, the edge of a desk collided with mine.
Hey.
Guess we'll be working together. How does PBG sound like? What does he say? It's, hey everybody, PeanutButterGamer. He's very high pitched and happy. So let's do that. PBG sat in front of me with a cheeky grin. Didn't he sit on the other side of the room? How did he get his desk over here so quickly? I leaned over to look past him. He left a gaping hole and several collapsed students in his wake. Seeing my gaze, he turned around. Oh, oops, sorry. He waved sheepishly. A boy glared at him. Well, for better or worse, we're partners. I guess we are. Sorry. Why are you apologizing? Oh, wait, no, that's not what I meant at all. You're super smart, and I'm sorry you're stuck with me. You're pretty smart too, though, right? Not that I knew. I guess. But I hate schoolwork. I don't care about it at all. 10% of our grade depended on this project. Oh, not that I'm gonna make you do it all. I may not like the school, but I'm not gonna let someone else fail because I think it sucks. I haven't done something like that since I was a kid. Girl got so mad, I learned my lesson. He laughed, hitting the desk and crinkling his nose. I didn't want to see what was so funny, but the way he was looking at me, it seemed like I should. I smiled hesitantly. He stopped laughing and frowned at me, the same way he did yesterday. Do you like apple cider? I'm sorry? Or, pinball? What about magnolias? Yeah, I guess I do. You guess you do? But you... He sputtered, opening and closing his mouth like he was trying to eat the air. I searched his face, wanting to help him out. He was clearly struggling. PBG leaned forward, looking into my eyes like he was deciphering a code. Really forward, so close I can see the little brown flecks in his eyes forward. What? PBG moved away, his anxious look fading into a slight smile. Actually, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it? I was brainstorming, a subject for our piece, but you didn't have any strong relations to anything, so I guess we won't be doing those then. Like hell. The bell rang, and students started packing up. Oh no, we didn't get to pick a project. Oh, I guess I could go back, I didn't know that. I'm sorry, that's my fault, I was messing around. But don't worry, I'll come up with something, just leave it to me. He thumped his chest and got out of the chair, striking a pose and giving me a wide, reassuring smile. He shuffled his desk back to the side of the room and I packed my things away. PBG is supposed to be really happy, but here he's like really awkward and like stumbly upon his words, so I can't, like, I'm trying to read in PBG's voice, but it's not working. I didn't understand what happened. Maybe it was better to forget about it. He didn't seem to want to explain. I left the classroom thinking to wait for Mai, but instead PBG trailed me into the hallway. He cleared his throat, and I turned to face him. I tilted my head back in an uncomfortable degree. He was tall, but he was scratching his neck, avoiding eye contact. So, I know you said you were fine at lunch, but are you sure you're okay? I mean, you were really freaked out over yesterday, so... Heat crept its way into my face. No, I'm alright. As long as you're fine. If you need help with anything, you can rely on me, though. Especially since the uncertain look crossed his face again. Well, never mind. Are you headed back to the dorms? Yes. Nice, me too. We can go together. He pumped his fist into the air. I glanced into the classroom. Mai was still talking to Mimi, looking like she was about to rip the girl's head off. She wasn't going anywhere. Sure, let's go. But as we turned to leave the hall, we were interrupted by someone wearing a yellow and gray jacket. The rival club's jacket. My heart stopped. Standing before us was a tall man with cheekbones like no tomorrow. I didn't recognize him from our class, which was mean he was one of the other Hidden Block members. You are... Who are you? I know you. I know your face, but I forgot your... Oh, you're, Fine, I'll let that... You're the other guy. I really like your videos, but I don't remember your name right now.
Hey.
Hey, Jeff. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Hey, Jeff. Jeff returned the gesture, and the two locked into a conversation. He's PBG's editor. Space Hamster. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
PBG, you pumped about the soccer match? Yeah, I've been waiting for this day all summer. Right on. That's not what he said. Are you busy? I'm trying to get the team together now for last-minute practice. You in? I am so in. I have nothing to do for the rest of the day. Are my cleats still in your locker? Yep. Awesome, let's go then. Jeff briefly looked at me and pointed. PBG turned around, surprised I was still waiting. Oh, Hana! Sorry, I gotta go. See you in class tomorrow. I'll make sure to bring my thinking cap. He put on an invisible cap and then gave me a thumbs up. Oh, wait. Do you want to come to our game? It's in a few weeks, and the first one is... It's the first one of the year, so it'd be cool if you came to watch us. Mostly me, because I'm the star player. Wow, thanks. I mean... Sure, if I don't have anything else to do. I don't want to be mean.
Yeah.
That sounds really fun. I would love to come. Ooh, thanks. That means a lot to me. Usually the first game doesn't conjure a big crowd. Can I bring Mai? She might have planned on going anyways, but she was always including me in things, so I wanted to do the same for her. Totally, bring as many people as you want. Fill up the stands! He left with Jeff, and I headed back to the dorms.